Liquid's jungler.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined by Dardoch after an amazing game. Taking that Lee Sin, we've been seeing your highlight reels on Lee Sin on Reddit for the longest time. Finally, you break it out. How's that feel, man?
It feels really good. He's been like one of my favorite champions for a long time, so I'm glad he's like viable in competitive play for the first time in a while.
Yeah, very solid. And last week, Team Liquid, you guys didn't do that well. You did go on record on Twitter saying that you were not quite focused for that. What's changed?
We have Weldon. He's a sports psychologist. He's been helping us this week. He's really like helped me kind of like set aside like what's most important to me, and winning is most important. So I've been able to focus this week.
Yeah, very solid. Glad that you've got that focus back. Now, next week, tomorrow, you guys are taking on TSM. Are you prepared? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm really excited to play TSM. So I'm pretty good friends with Bjergsen and Hanser, but in game they're not like my friends, as Weldon's teaching me. So we're really prepared. I'm really confident going into the game.
Very solid. Looking forward to it, man. Well, Dardoch, thank you so much. Congratulations on the win. We look forward to seeing what you can do next, but we're going to send it over to the analyst desk to break that game down.
Thank you very much, Dom. Very solid win there for Team Liquid. Two of these teams that we were talking about at the beginning of the day are in that race for 6th place. Want to pull up a tweet here. Matt Perriott said, want to believe in Tip and Fox, but Liquid has the tendency to muscle through at the end. Also, Sports Psych Hero for hire. And we just heard Dardoch point to Weldon having been a factor in his ability to focus up in games and kind of own himself when he's in or under the pressure of being on stage.
Yeah, and I think that this psychology and what's happening here and introducing that into the scene is incredible, because this is what we need. This introduces consistency. Immortals have a performance coach who also has a psychology background, and Weldon has worked with many different teams. When C9 did their gauntlet run, that was Weldon working with the team. CLG winning Madison Square Garden, Weldon worked with that team. And we're seeing there the success that he's had in the track record, because this works. This actually works. It helps you increase your focus. It helps you stay consistent in your game and know that you are in control of it. It's not external factors, so deliver.
Now, this doesn't mean, though, that Ticklet. I don't know what that was. Team Liquid. I was put the two together.
No, I got you.
This doesn't mean that Team Liquid was without problems this game, right? We still saw some lack of communication or breakdowns in communication throughout the game. And I want to point to a 2v2 in the bot lane, because we don't see 2v2s in the bot lane resulting in kills very often in the LCS anymore. And I'm gonna defer to you here, Freak, on this replay as we pull it up as our resident bot lane expert to kind of break down the mechanics of this fight and how it could have been executed even better for the side of Team Liquid.
So there's a lot of factors to look at before we even start this clip of what happened. So first of all, Liquid actually did a jungle camp. They got Gromp, whereas TIP leashed Krug. So Liquid will hit level 4 first, despite having more minions on the field. The other big factor is Dardoch just saw Proxen in the jungle, so they know it's actually safe to go for a 2-on-2. So, hitting level 4 first, Matt leads first. You always want to focus AD carry. There's all of Gate's Spell Thief's damage, and his Neep hits Matt. Then they switch to Piglet. Oh look, there's no damage left. Even with Ignite, they kill off Gate and Piglet to walk away. You should never get to focus a support first. Impulse needs to stick to their target, but also you saw, and the reason this is even so close as this final kill plays out, is that Piglet actually wasted a couple of autos hitting Mash, right? Matt goes in, says, yo, we've got this Bard, I'm gonna slow him, I'll put the trinket in the brush, I'll tornado him, and Piglet goes, yeah, I'll put the E down. Hold on, oh, Mash? Bleh, bleh. Oh no, we are killing Bard. Okay, I'll hit W, blah, blah, blah. And like, that was the mechanics, and you cannot switch focus like that in a team fight. Both teams did it. Impulse did it worse. Either team could have won that based on the mistakes of the other team.
Yeah, I also want to clear up a misconception here about the Kog'Maw pick, because we're seeing it more and more. It's not just a late game champion now. Kog'Maw actually has really early item spikes, and in win rate for solo queue, and I don't always like to compare solo queue to competitive, his win rate goes down over game time. He spikes at 2 items, and then the fact that he doesn't build a penetration item like Void Staff or Lord Dominic's Regards, he ends up doing less damage than most AD carries later, but he still does so much percent HP that if you don't itemize against it, it's a big problem. Right. In his early game with a Janna or a Braum, he becomes lane dominant instead of being passive.
Yeah, if we want to talk about Kog'Maw's itemization and his sort of damage curve more, he's almost exactly 50-50 AD versus Magic. So yeah, percent pen items are just not efficient on him because they're half value. And also, like you said, his 2 item buys are 3,000 gold each, or 2,700 in the case of Hurricane. Like, that's cheaper than an Infinity Edge or an Essence Reaver. And he's not really buying crit. And crit plus Lord Dominic's Regards is why a Caitlyn does obscene damage at 50 minutes. And Kog'Maw, unless he reshapes his entire item build, which we're not seeing Kog'Maws do right now, well, that's going to go down.
All right, with the minutia of Kog'Maw out of the way, I do want to flip over to the other side of Team Impulse because this did not look like a good game for them, riddled with mistakes from beginning to end. I mean, we saw the procs and misplay very early into the game. You just mentioned the bottom 2v2. So for them, it is looking more and more grim when it comes towards making a playoff run.
Yeah. And I like how you called it a misplay, but I wouldn't call it that. I would call it a misjudgment because he got outplayed. He dove in, and then the flash came afterwards. So the lapse in judgment there, and that's what I'm seeing with TIP.
I can get outplayed.
Exactly. Is TIP are not seeing the moves that their opponents are able to make, and that's both macro and micro. And that's the big problem here is I think it's a little bit of disrespect, or maybe it's they're saying, well, I know I'm really good, I can do this. And then they're like, you're playing against LCS players.
Right.
You're playing against really good players. So they can't outplay you, and that's what I think that they're not thinking about.
Overall, an expected win out of Team Liquid if they are going to make this run for the playoffs, which is what we already mentioned earlier today. So necessary for them. They're going to be going up against TSM, and we heard Dardoch say he's excited for that game because there's going to be a lot riding on a victory there. Coming up next, though, we'll see if Froggen and Echo Fox can keep the win streak alive against that very same team, TSM. Here you're seeing TSM huddled backstage just a few minutes ago, prepping, hugs all around, so they're definitely unified as of right now, Zyrene. We'll see if they're still unified when it comes to in-game. We'll see if they can put themselves back in the running for second place. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go.
All right, we back. I got
That's
that.
pretty good, actually.
I got that new my way.
Oh,
6.1.
Man, that's pretty good.
That was clean.
I watched so many of his videos. It's uncanny.
Oh, I don't have
Open
the
the
right masters,
gates.
but whatever.
Oh, Proxon, no! Goes in, he's getting the attacks! That's the passive! That's the Riptide!
I'm just TPing the minion, We can dive with package. I'm going.
I'm a tip, tip flash.
We're diving.
Just back up.
Good job.
Not knowing what the sides provide for Liquid, they don't know where the team is. Oh, Bing ulted in on the Zhonya's. Phoenix gets out alive. Can they manage that? Phoenix dives right into the fight. There's the kill from Dardoch. 2 for Phoenix. 18-3. Team Liquid takes down Team Impulse.